batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast while they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it this machine instead of crushing the parsley, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat. Once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these. Cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Well, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just heat it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now that can be used for sardine cans, square cans or round cans, exactly the same way. Now this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven, get a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it, makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, You'll receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's two curls out of the one potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the two colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some...
Hello, how's everyone doing tonight? Doing chicken tonight. Chicken tonight. Still haven't gotten very creative with this, but we'll have a good time anyways. We got organic chicken. Going to cut this guy and roast him. I'm going to turn my oven on here to 400 degrees to get that going. I took chicken out of the bag around noon today. Be better if I had thought ahead and done that even earlier, because you want to allow it to dry out a bit in the refrigerator or out in the open. It helps the skin get a bit browner and not having all that moisture on the outside. And tonight I'm starting my first of the 4 incredibly cheap Whole Foods 3 Wishes wines, starting with Chardonnay tonight. And so besides chicken, going to be roasting the chicken with some veggies, some onion and carrot, maybe some celery in there. Going to be doing rice up with chicken stock and lime. Nice, Stinging Bear. I don't have any corn going. I haven't looked today. It's probably ripe today, but I had my first tomato starting to turn red yesterday. He was pretty small, and so I'm not too... I've got many more to come. So, the birds got that one. I'm not too concerned. But yeah, corn. Good fresh corn, straight from nice. How'd it work out for you? Cherokees? I don't know. I haven't had the best luck with flavor on Cherokees that I've grown myself. Sort of feel like a lot of the heirlooms are something you gotta grow to match your area. But I've had great luck with the beef steaks that I'm growing, and or sorry, not beefsteak, beef masters. Beefsteak's the well-known version, essentially the same tomato. And what else do I have? I have yellow tomatoes. I have a sauce tomato, and I think that's it. I don't typically do the cherry tomatoes. I've done them a couple of times. I've done cherry or grape-like tomatoes. Not a huge cherry and salad thing. Typically they're too tart, too ripe, too not my style. I want the ones that are just like, instant sauce. Yeah, mine are topping out about as high as I hope them to stay. And so I'm actually, they're getting up around 4 foot-ish now. And yeah, I think I'm going to probably top them around 4.5 feet. Between the weight that they would have to hold up and all that jazz. I think the plants do better. What did I do with my Caesar was? Poultry scissors. One of the easier ways to prepare a bird here. Just go along either side of the tailbone here. Get rid of that backbone. There we go. And for this part right in here, I'm going to take my knife and just break that breastbone right down the center. And you can now take these guys, fold these back. Get ourselves a pan here. It's not gonna work for this. Piece of parchment. Tucking the wings behind the breast so that they're held in place down like that. I put the wing back underneath here. Oh yeah, helps if I actually play the music my bot's talking about. Hey Chris, how we doing this evening? I'm doing pretty well. Got ourselves a nice chicken here, almost ready to go in the oven. Make up a little rice here. Enjoy a little cheap wine. What's new in your world? I'm doing well. How are you, Hedgehog? I am working on cleaning up this cutting board I got dirty with chicken juice. We're waiting on oven to warm up here to throw our chicken in. I'm not going to throw the bird in there just like that, by the way. We have butter to flavor and all sorts of other stuff here. I was just making sure we get all the raw chicken stuff done and out of the way. Need that guy a bit later. Arrgh, I have no defrosted butter. Paper wants to tear rather than pull away from the butter. that little ginger that I've had kicking around here for a while. Do some thin slicing here against the green and the fiber. Going to break down this butter a little bit here. Sorry, I zoned out there a little bit. Thank you for telling me that. Is that better? Get that butter 20 seconds here. Try and break that down a little bit so we can smear that all over the undersides of the chicken skin. Not enough. Awesome. Don't want melted butter, just want it not frozen. It's looking a little better. Still not there though. Parts that were touching the glass got hot. Give that another 10 seconds even still. Thank you for the follow, Chef Blitzwolf. Welcome to my kitchen. Working on getting spatchcock chicken set up here. I've got got some butter that I took out of the freezer and I'm trying to get spread all. And that's on edge of melted now, although it's still not fully broken down. Gonna grab some parsley here. Let's see what else I got to throw in here. I think I got some thyme. Yep. And I think I'll skip the cilantro. Going pretty well, Glass. How's yours? This batch of thyme is starting to go, though. I'm just realizing who you are, Blitzwolf. Yeah, the hair has gotten quite long. I still haven't gotten that chopped. That's still not really planning on doing that anytime soon either. What you been up to, Glass? No, I have not opened the cheap wine yet. Sorry, I'm sort of deep in thought here tonight. I don't know what. I keep getting thrown off and thinking about other things, not talking. So we got all that thyme mixed in there. We got ginger. You know what? I'm gonna use that lime, but why don't we put the lime zest in there? I'll get my drawer open. Yeah, it's been a while. No, I'll open the wine after I get the chicken in the oven. We got plenty of time here to relax after that chicken gets cooking. That's really the major time sink for the evening. So I want to get that going. Get the cinnamon bottled wine. Cinnamon wine. I haven't had cinnamon wine, I don't think. White pepper. Salt. MSG. Oh yeah, I had, well, that was that one bottle that I opened then. I haven't opened another bottle since. And a little garlic powder there. Last thing I'm throwing in here is going to be a little pinch of cayenne. I'm not going to be picky about my parsley here. This is all getting up there in age. So it's looking pretty good, but it's dry. It was good. Good. Actually, I was debating. I was thinking I needed to start another batch here. I mean, I haven't fermented anything since I started on Twitch. And since we got all sorts of spring stuff here, I don't know. I hadn't made a final plan on that. Maybe figure that out tomorrow morning. But we got apples coming up here soon. We got lots of stuff coming up here soon. and all of that in there too. Plop. Plop. It didn't turn out that great, Let's. Most everything that I planted ended up, I think, getting eaten by bugs or birds. Or I do have some tomato plants that are looking good. I do have the pepper plants are surviving. They're not thriving, but they're surviving. Carrots made it all right. Trying to think what else there is that got going on. But tomatoes all seem to be doing pretty good. So, bring chicken back into the scene here. Finger down breast on either side here, loosen the skin up from the meat. Repeat the process. I'm using probably 60-70% of it here for the breasts, and since dark meat's going to have more fat to it, spread it all over once you get it in underneath the skin. And same thing for the thighs and the legs here. Throwing the spine still in here rather than tossing it out because I can use that for helping with the sauce later. And last of this, I'm just going to rub on the outside. Just make that skin that even more crispy and lovely. And planning on eating the breasts off of this tonight and tomorrow, and the thighs will be saved for Wednesday when I'll be doing milk bread, and we'll do a nice creamy chicken hot open sandwich on the milk bread. Hey Enlightened, welcome back. Yeah, the strawberry mellow turned out pretty good. But like I said, I've only opened that one bottle. I've got 3 more bottles to open. I was thinking it was about time I opened one of those, but now we got other stuff here. I need to get going with another batch of fermentation here, but small scale. I ain't trying to take on any of those big time brewers. I'm not going to go through it anyways, just myself. I only drink like twice a week. And I'll use tongs to do that. Force that guy back underneath again, rather than get my hands dirty again. And a bit more salt on the top. You note I didn't really butter up the wings there. Okay, into 400-degree oven. We'll leave it there at 400 degrees for 30 minutes here. I think I'm done with the parsley for tonight. Parsley, period. Lime we're saving for that. We're saving that for veggies. Let's clean up and have a sip of wine here before I get rolling in on stuff for making. Pretty simple batch of rice here. Although that reminds me, I need to grab some chicken stock out of the freezer to defrost. So I'll grab one of the bags of pork or chicken. Chicken has decent color. That pork is just yum. What about white wine? Yeah, I don't drink a lot of white wine. Tonight's the first of 4 from 3 wishes that I am trying. 3 wishes. Occasionally buy a box of wine, but I usually buy that more when I'm planning on doing cooking with it. Tonight is first of 4, and these are all 3 wishes, which 3 wishes is, I don't know, it may be sold other locations, but it is without question the cheap brand available at Whole Foods. And so this is, I believe, a $3 bottle of wine. Definitely not breaking the bank here tonight. And that is 1 fake cork. Cork feels like foam. foam too. No labeling, no nothing, just straight up cheapest as you can go generic cork, which, I mean, this is about the cheapest you can go here for a bottle of wine, so. So, I'm not gonna save that actually. It's got some nice notes to this that I wasn't expecting. It's definitely seen some steel. It is too, if anyone else is curious here, what I'm speaking about with the mead is I have 3 more of these babies that I need to open up at some point, but I made these on stream when I was streaming on Mixer. So I did a strawberry mead, and then after allowing it to do the first month of fermentation, I pitched, I re-racked it over fresh strawberries that I had mashed up, and then strained it and bottled it on the 22nd. Well, not partially strained it. There's still definitely sediment going on here, but and so that's been hanging out here in the bottle since the beginning of this year, basically, which is still pretty young for a mead. But it aged pretty well for when I tried it in May. That was Super Bowl. I opened a bottle of champagne and the cork didn't go flying, but the wine did. Yeah, that was fun. Had to clean up the ceiling. That is pretty tasty. That's crisp and buttery. It's definitely more metallic than wood tasting to me. Although there may be some wood involved there. It's got decent minerality too, which, as I always say, is, you know, with me and whites, I like minerality. That's pretty good for $3. I mean, that's competing with 10 buckers I've had. No, it's been there since January, but I opened one in May. Moscato, not a lot of that grown around me here. It's also typically a sweeter variety of wine. More like a dessert wine, as I recall, and I could be wrong on that, but and specific Moscato says that it's not from here too, because while I can probably find wines made with Muscat grapes, Moscato is regional. Nice, nice. Go for the oil instead of I had lard. So this is lard off of the pig I butchered here on stream. Chef Wolf might have missed. I think you have to find that on Patreon now, though, because from the ICU, what are you doing there? Oh, your other half of your. Hopefully, that's turning out okay. Doesn't sound that promising being at the ICU, but maybe that's part of the recovery. You still have half your teeth, or are they all gone now? Ooh. Ooh. That is not good. I hope you're doing okay. That's no fun. You can't hear it without the microphone on. vapor off the pan there. Quick cut on this carrot and celery here. Get that going with the onion here with our rice. Hi there. Everyone's still doing good. I am actually pretty pleasantly surprised by this wine. This wine is pretty tasty. I was a little worried about this with trying all four of them. Maybe I'm just lucking out with the first one, but I expected them to all be stinkers in some form or fashion. This one doesn't have a whole lot of fruit flavor to it, but then again it's Chardonnay, so half the time Chardonnay doesn't taste like anything but oak. Whereas this one's sort of sharp, sort of bright. Yep, I'm still here. Even though here is now Twitch, still the same kitchen. Same kitchen, different address. Starting to get there in our chicken stock that I'm going to cook the rice in the chicken stock with the lime, and then we'll toss it with the veggies here at the end. Get another 40-50 minutes here on this chicken. We're about done with our first 30 minutes here of high heat, and then we're going to drop the heat down and do another 30 minutes here. veggies with a bit of salt. Work. I think I have some of the Stream Elements games enabled. You ain't supposed to slide. Why are you sliding on me? Yeah, I've got roulette and bingo enabled if anyone wants to play roulette or bingo. Or slots. $3 Blitz. It is cheap and low as you go. It is yummy. That said, I've had some really good, really cheap Rieslings that I wouldn't compare this to, but for $3-4, I mean maybe $4 with tax, yeah, pretty good wine. It definitely competes with most of the 10-buckers out there. But it's not expensive buying. Nah. Most of the wine that I drink here on stream I consider to be, I mean, I'm not buying, other than maybe some of the Iron Horse bottles I have, I don't have bottles that are worth more than $15 generally. Okay, that's good to know that doesn't work with Stream Elements either, but still working on the chat box, still working on the alerts. Got most of it fleshed out here, but I've switched over a lot of stuff from Streamlabs to Stream Elements here too, so, but I've still got, I've now got 3 currencies going on here. Only really using one of them right now, but there are 3 currencies in this room. Two of them are viewer based, and one of them is donation based. If only to help keep track of things. There's so much stuff you have to keep track of. Wah. Clean out that butter dish from earlier. Oh, you mean that cork wine that I had that once? That was a long time ago. Yeah. I've only really had one wine that I thought was corked, I think. Well, actually, I don't think that was corked. I think it was, the wine had vinegarized. I thought the air had gotten to it. Whereas being corked is actually a infection. Yeah, I think it's the one that it was like the cork had. Pull the cork out here. It had a line of wine going down the whole line of the cork, and I think it was like I said, I think it had gotten exposed to air, because I thought that, I mean, liquid can pass through something, air most certainly can pass through it, which would have oxygenated it, would have, and most likely turned it to vinegar. Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know, the last 2 months have seemed like 2 years. Well, the last 2 months have seemed like 5 years, and the last several weeks have felt like 2 years. Dropping that oven down by 50 degrees to 350, and I'm going to take a look at it here. We got some nice browning starting on there, and especially on the tops, on the high parts of the breasts. But knock that heat down, allow it to continue to cook, continue to brown on the outside. That's going to be nice and tasty. So I'll set the timer on the stove here for another 30 minutes. I've really got to change Bate Cuisine's color. That aqua green, I don't know what color, it's sort of greenish to me. That's got to go. I think it's, I don't think I defined it, and so I think it actually changes every time I see it. Ooh, almost a little bit of a banana note in there, which I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm beginning to think banana note's usually a bad note. 1 second here. Let's pull out the references here. Let's see what we got. Banana. It wouldn't be in producers, it would be in here. Not listed. Oh. Wonder if it's got it. Oh, we got another index here. Looking in both of my two wine reference books, one that I had from Culinary Institute and one being the Wine Bible. And I'm not seeing anything about banana. Oh, there we go. Maybe. Nope, nothing there. And then this guy. No mention there either, huh? Gonna have to look up that one online afterward. While I'm not minding that banana flavor note in there, I just have this sinking feeling like it's known as a bad note to have in wine. Thanks, Blitz. Yeah, we're having a sort of chill night here tonight. I'm not exactly doing too exciting of a dinner here tonight either, so sort of good. Gonna have a much more interesting night of cooking here on Next Wednesday is going to be fun with the milk bread, but that's going to be long and drawn out. That's going to be 3-4 hour stream on Wednesday. But Friday is going to be fun. I'm going to be doing lasagna from scratch with fresh tomatoes and all that good stuff. And so Friday next week is going to be a good time. And going to decide what I'm doing. I've got... What else do I have here in the plans here? I forget what I planned for. Oh, I'm doing chicken pot pies on Sunday. And then Monday, tomorrow morning, I've started doing a hour-long sort of just chit-chat. Talk about plans for the next week. I'm going to plan out my menus for the next week tomorrow morning, along with... talk things through, get ideas from people from chat, what they want to do, what they'd like to see me try, and talk about other things that are going on in the world, like things that I don't really want to talk about here, where I want to more focus on food, like good time for some Formula One chat, which that race this morning was pretty fun. Not as fun as the first two, but it was fun. Nice, Blitz. I know you've been considering that and you've been toying with the idea of working in food in the past. This oven's just killing me. Sweating. It's not even hot. I think it only got to like 77 Fahrenheit today. So what's new with you? Last I talked to you, you were, well, last I don't know what was going on with you. You had a girlfriend and life was changing. Okay, I'm gonna turn the heat down on this. This is all nice and done now. I got a little bit of color on there, and everything's nice and cooked through. Turn that off. Move you off to the side here. I'm gonna get started on our rice actually, since we got about 20 minutes left on the bird. Let's see. Do I do jasmine or basmati? I think I'm gonna try basmati. I did jasmine for the stuffed cabbage on Friday, so we'll do that. Which, that cabbage was great. I just plowed through that. And probably coming up here on the Twitters too is this guy. I think I'm gonna sous vide him maybe tomorrow or the next night and sear him off and make a dinner out of him here on Monday or Tuesday night. I also have a ham hock down there that I cured, that I took apart with the other ham and cured here at home, that I need to figure out a use for here. So that's definite need for next week, or week after next week's plans. And don't need a ton of rice here, we're just doing enough here for 2 chicken breasts. So I'm gonna do a cup to give us 2 to 3 cups of rice to finish with here. Basmati 1.1, 1.5, 2 point, 1.5, 1 to 1.5. Well, my word of advice to you, Chef Wolf, is the restaurant world is changing mighty quickly, and I think you'll find, as someone trying to enter the industry, much more longevity in your career if you go after packaged, fresh to consumer products. I think the restaurant industry is going to be hurting for the next 5 to 10 years. I think delivery is going to continue to really press on a good percentage of the restaurant world, and so as much as I hate processed foods, I think it's really the way the world is headed right now. So we got rice, we got water, we need some stock in there too. ice ready to go. Add half of our lime in there, and nice full high heat going there. Nice. Yes. It's never fun. So, yes. Need some salt in here with our rice too. And almost time to throw a little butter in there, but you got enough butter going on here already. Let's do a little black pepper though. Give a look out here in the world and see what's going on this evening. See who all else is streaming out there tonight. Interesting mix of streamers out there this evening. Not very many people out there tonight, though. It seems Twitch is sort of weird, and I obviously don't have a full handle on it, but it does seem like beginning of the month seems a little bit busier so far. That's awesome, man. If you're keeping that weight off, like I said before, the only way I've ever been successful in keeping weight off is making myself more active. It hasn't been diet related. I've tried diets, I've tried exercise. I know it works, but it's really keeping myself busy and working throughout the day is the thing that's always worked for me as far as when I have lost weight, which I am not losing weight right now. Should change that too. Should change the wording on this message about my Patreon page. I will do that right now while I'm sitting right here. Actually, I won't, because that's on a different computer. Waiting on poofs of steam here to come out with our rice. Make sure that's up to a boil, and I'll let that sit another 10 minutes. Relax here for another 10 minutes. And then we'll plate up everything. And let's see, what time is it? What are we doing for time tonight? Gonna be a short stream. We're only a hour and a half in. We'll be under 2 hours tonight. Well, that's sort of why I'm here too. Foster a place where I don't have to worry about other things that that annoy me in my everyday life. It's almost relaxing to. I mean, a lot of people, it's anxiety and they don't want to stream and they feel this pressure of, you know, wanting to talk to. For me, it's, hey, I get to stream. Let's just do the last of that bottle there. Okay. Definitely worth $3. Definitely worth $4. That's... Yeah. For cheap wine, that's worth it. I think I would be happy drinking 3 or 4 of these instead of one nice bottle of white. Okay, our rice is looking like it's bubbling. It does look like it's bubbling. Turn the heat off on that. And hey, that's almost perfect for our chicken to be done. So I'm not even going to bother with a second timer. Well, now we have Instagram. I'm posting. I forgot to post them going live on Twitter today. I'm trying to post that I'm going live. But I've been posting my pictures on Twitter now, and all my pictures are definitely on Discord now. Really trying to push the Discord, trying to get some people in there so that it's a little bit more of a community. I've got some people in there. It's not empty, but trying to push for that community and trying to push to just finally figured out earlier today how to get the Twitch integration to work so that subs are given their proper titles in Discord. Do you just do cap? No. Oh, sorry. It's either social or socials. There you go. So we got 7.5 minutes here. I'm actually gonna take a quick AFK here, and I will be back for finishing and plating everything up here. Leave you guys with my lovely infomercial.
Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curve. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's 2 curls out of the 1 potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the 2 colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in 2. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this, drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast. Why, they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen Vegetable Mincing Knife and Noodle Cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers. When you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup, making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here's a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in.
All right. So we got another 30 seconds or so to go here on our bird in the oven. Turn that timer off and turn the oven off. Going to start heating up a little stock here and pan to get going for our gravy. And using stock is a little bit of a cheat here, but we made the stock from other chicken, so let's see how our chicken's looking here. I have a feeling this is going to be pretty beautiful. Oh yeah, that's looking yummy. Get our chicken here. And take this there and throw the oil and other lovely juices that want to come off of that in there with that pan. And take this, and I need a second towel here. Allow the chicken to rest. heat on the pan here. Debating whether I want to do a cornstarch one, which would be quicker. I should probably do a cornstarch sauce, because this is going to be yummy. I'm actually thinking I might throw a piece of foil here over the top to help that rust a little bit and reflect the heat that it's generating. Does mean my rice should be ready now. Clean up this fork so that I can check that out. It's looking quite done. Bit of liquid still in the pan there, but they can live with that okay. Yeah, that's looking okay. We'll leave that open, allow that to continue to evaporate. Pull the lime out here though, because that has done its job. Throw that in the compost. You don't even need you can juice the lime even beforehand and it'll still be great. For flavoring rice. And it's actually, even though I don't have plans for this other half of the lime, other than maybe throw it on the plate, it's it would just overpower because it would be too strong with all the juice out of this too. So we got our sauce at a boil there. Let's get a little starch going here, a little slurry. Got cornstarch. Just do a good pinch of that and get it all over the counter. Why not? Let's not think about what we're doing and get everything dirty. And wash the counter after this anyways. And cold water, cold as you can get it. Ice water if you want to sit with an ice cube for a little bit. The science here is that our mixture of cold starch and liquid with being shocked into the hot boiling gravy is going to give us our maximum thickening power. So we want this to be at a full boil, our gravy to be at a full boil. We want this as cool as we can get, which this is still feeling like room temp to me right now, but the colder the better. Now there's time to pull out the whisk here and slowly whisk this in. And as should just about instantly thicken it all up, which it has. I don't know how well that comes across on video, but those bubbles are looking to me like it's from a much thicker liquid than it was before. This is looking a lot closer to like a caramel than it was before. Okay, I'm going to kill the heat on the pan now. I'm going to pull out our chicken spine, throw this in the compost. Bring that back up to a boil here for real quick. See what the heck I'm getting messages about. Okay. Now we need to let this cool down just a little bit below a boil here. We're still basically at a boil. And whisk in essentially the last of the butter I've got here. This is about 2 tablespoons of butter. We're talking gravy here. So, yeah. Just mix that in to help cool the whole gravy and keep the butter emulsified in it by moving it around quickly. It's going to give that thickened gravy a nice sheen and lots of great flavor. Lastly, we're going to give this a taste here with our fork. See if we need salt. I'm still going to give that a bit more salt. I add salt to everything. That is tasting pretty good to me. I think I will live with that. That could be slightly thicker, but it's not thin at the same time, so I'm okay with that. It's not the perfect scenario. Veggies looking nice here. We're gonna mix these in with our rice. Give the pan a quick clean out here and Make sure it's ready to be used right again. Just to make life a little easier here. Okay, and chicken. I'm going to cut off one of these chicken breasts here. This guy just really didn't want to stay back. I pinned him back several times. He still popped out. Oh yeah, nice crispy skin. Bit harder to do with this nice and hot than it is when it's cold. It's much easier to follow down the bones and all that when the meat doesn't want to just essentially fall apart. Grab ourselves a bowl here. Bunch of our basmati rice with stock and veggies. Pull this off the board here. Grab our chicken breast that we carved off here a minute ago. Give ourselves a nice couple of slices through here, nice and juicy still, but absolutely cooked through. Nice and crispy skin. And then we have our gravy back here, which I almost want to put on the side here for the photo, which I think I will do. No lumps, no nothing. Though, then again, this is not a roux based pan sauce, which would be superior and would be superior, but would take more time. And I started off without doing the roux, which is the first step to using roux. Why are you stuck? Figure that later. Alright, let's grab a photo here of our dinner. Mine tonight was pretty tasty. Like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised at the essentially $3 Whole Foods wine. All right, let's see who we can send some love to here with people. I think we should go hang out and do movie night tonight again. Go hang out with Mr. Carrington. So, thank you all for joining me. Gonna be back next Wednesday with, gonna be doing milk bread from scratch, Japanese style. Completely different type of bread than you guys are used to looking at. So check that out. Gonna be using the rest of this bird, the thighs and the legs, for my, with the sandwiches. Who knows what else I'll find between now and then to throw in there with that. This is going to be delicious. Thank you for joining me tonight. Have a good night.